What's up, everybody? It's your boy AB. Welcome to the channel and welcome to today's XDefiant video. And boys, unfortunately, we got some bad news, especially if you are a fan of XDefiant. It was announced earlier today by Mark Rubin himself. He is the executive producer on XDefiant, and he has been super communicative. He has been communicating with the fan base, with the players. He's kind of been this prime example of good communication and transparency between developers and players. And he made a statement about the game shutting down. He tweeted this out earlier today, and we're gonna go ahead and read it, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more about it. Hello, XDefiant fans. I am unfortunately here today to announce that XDefiant will be shutting down. Starting today, December 3rd, 2024, new downloads and player registrations will no longer be available. We will still release our Season 3 content in the near future, exact date to be determined, and the servers will remain active until June 3rd, 2025. For those who purchase the Ultimate Founders Pack, you'll receive a full refund. Players who made any purchases within the last 30 days will also be fully refunded. Those refunds should happen automatically within 8 weeks of today, and you can find more details on our official website, xdefiant.com. A few years ago, Ubisoft and the SF dev team embarked on a bold adventure to develop a new arcade shooter called XDefiant. It was from the start an incredible challenge. Not only were we trying to shake up the genre by removing skill-based matchmaking SBMM, which we hate in Call of Duty, while bringing back a more old-school arcade shooter experience, but we were also diving into the high-risk, high-reward realm of free-to-play. And for that, I want to applaud not only the dev team, but also Ubisoft leadership for taking that chance. When it comes to video games, any game that is multiplayer, online focused, and free to play, like that is a huge challenge because you basically have to find ways to make money. Monetizing a free to play game is a very fine line that you have to walk. You don't want to monetize too much, but you also do want to incentivize people to make purchases because you need to make money. These games and servers and developers, they just don't get magic money. Like, they have to earn money somehow, and monetizing these free-to-play games can be quite tricky. And we have seen this time and time again that free-to-play games, if they don't make enough money, they do shut down. I mean, even most recently, there was Concord for Sony. That game was abysmal. It was trash, and it was almost immediately shut down and refunds were issued out. On the mobile side of things as well, Apex Legends mobile shut down, and various other mobile games that if there is no player base and they're not making money, those games shut down. And PC games and Ubisoft and the quote-unquote Call of Duty killer still struggle to survive in this very demanding market. I am, of course, heartbroken to have to be writing this post. Yes, this game has been a personal passion for me for years, and yes, I know that not all challenges lead to victory, but I also want to recognize all of the developers who are being affected by this closure. Each and every one of them is a real person with a real life separate from our own, and they have all put so much of their passion into making this game, and I hope that they can be proud of what they did achieve. I know that I will always be proud and grateful to have worked with such a great team, a team that really punched above its weight class. And this was a game that had to compete with Call of Duty. It was constantly being called the Call of Duty killer, and that term was a double-edged sword. It benefited them by having their name up there, like it gave them a lot of clout, but it was also very dangerous because a lot of people that were Call of Duty players, you know, had to compare, and eventually they had to decide whether they wanted to support XDefiant or Call of Duty, which is not realistic. We can support multiple games, but it felt like people had to make a decision whether they wanted to support Call of Duty or they wanted to support XDefiant, which was a new IP and, you know, by a new development team. Of course, it's Ubisoft. Ubisoft is kind of sketchy, right? We're not, you know, Ubisoft has been making some very strange decisions and they're paying the consequences of it. But the team behind XDefiant, and especially Mark Rubin, they were super passionate about this project and they wanted this game to succeed, and you can feel it. This game was definitely a love letter to FPS fans of old school Call of Duty and old school first-person shooters. And what they achieved is truly remarkable. The early response from players when XDefiant launched was amazing. We broke internal records for the fastest game to surpass 5 million users, and in the end, we had over 15 million players play our game. That is something to be extremely proud of, especially considering how tough this genre is. So thank you to all of the developers who put their passion into making this game. And for sure, when this game was announced and people finally got their hands on it, we got to remember that this was during the time that Modern Warfare 2 was launched, and people were really hating on Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 had a great campaign. It had amazing graphics. The IW9 engine looked amazing on PC and console, but when it came down to gameplay, after a few hours, you started to realize, like, man, this game is slow, it's clunky, it's trying to be too real and tactical, and it's not really fun. It didn't really open up the movement, which was something that the game struggled so bad. The movement did get sped up eventually with Modern Warfare 3, and now we're like on another level with Black Ops 6. And I think that's another thing that really hurt this game, was that it grew in popularity when Call of Duty was at its lowest, but then every iteration after that got better and better. Modern Warfare 3 sped it up, got a little bit more fun, and now Black Ops 6 is like on a whole nother level. A lot of people do like it. I'll be fair, a lot of people don't like it, but the game sped up and became more arcadey. Call of Duty's movement, aesthetic, and overall feels a little bit more fun, and compare that to Modern Warfare 2, where it was like at its stalest and most boring. That is where XDefiant kind of rose up, but eventually Call of Duty kind of stepped it up, and unfortunately it seems like more of those people that were like on the fence kind of swung back to Call of Duty. And even though XDefiant probably did have a like significant player base, it just wasn't enough, right? Mark Rubin mentioned that the free-to-play model, unfortunately, is a very difficult model to work with. You have to monetize, you have to make money, but it doesn't seem like they were making enough money. They might have had the players, but they didn't have the monetization there, and unfortunately that killed the game. Warzone is also a free-to-play game, but that game makes millions of dollars every year, which on the flip side, XDefiant being a brand new IP, they're dealing with Ubisoft. You know, Ubisoft doesn't have the best reputation at the moment, and it just turned out to be the final nail in the coffin, and unfortunately XDefiant is shutting down now. And I want to give props to Mark Rubin. He always kind of kept up this like very upbeat and positive attitude, and even with the way he closed out this message, if there's one thing I hope we can all take away from this experience, it's the importance of open, honest communication between developers and players. This player first mentality, along with respectful, non-toxic conversations between developers and players, has been one of the standout differences that made XDefiant so special. From my very first post on XDefiant, this was the vision I wanted to champion, and I hope it leaves a positive mark on how the game industry treats its players and communities. To our players, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to express my deepest gratitude for the incredible community that has grown around XDefiant. Your passion, creativity, and dedication have inspired us every step of the way. With the utmost love and respect, Mark. At the end of the day, the project failed as a whole. I don't think this game failed specifically because of Mark Rubin. You know, he is one individual with the vision, and I always felt the passion behind this man and his team. I know they were trying to develop a good game. They were doing their damnedest to make this thing work. Again, they were punching up because they are in a very competitive space. The online multiplayer, especially first-person shooter genre, you know, there are big games out there that kind of hold the majority, and when these new IP come out, you know, it kind of seems like they're just kind of like the flavor of the month. People try them out and then they realize, you know what, I got a better experience on this other game, I'm gonna go back to that. With that being said though, XDefiant was not perfect by any means. This game constantly struggled with netcode, hit detection, ping, lag, and little bugs, and then some of the balancing was like really off. You know, some classes definitely felt stronger than other classes. As far as map design, weapons, and abilities, all that was fine. It was great, it was a lot of fun, but the foundation, the skeleton of the game, when it came to network and online features, it just struggled, and they could not keep up. And with all of those issues that the game was having that were never truly resolved, and people kind of caught on like, hey, they may not work this out, people tend to hold off on making purchases. If people are fully committed to the game, they trust that the game experience is going to be there for a while and they're having a good time, they will make purchases, whether that's a battle pass, a bundle, blueprints, whatever it is. Now, if you go to the XDefiant webpage, we have this message here, a message to the players. Dear players, thank you for your incredible dedication and support of XDefiant. We regret to inform you that we are initiating the sunset process starting today, December 3rd, 2024. Imagine that, the same day as the alien invasion. As a result, new downloads, player registrations, and purchases will no longer be available. Season 3 will still launch, so stay tuned for more updates to come. The servers will remain active and the game will be fully playable until June 3rd, 2025. So they still plan to release Season 3, but that will be the last piece of content. What does sunsetting mean for this game? Starting December 3rd, 2024, players will no longer be able to purchase any content, and registration for new players will be disabled. Existing players that have accessed the game prior to December 3rd, 2024 will continue to have full access to the game, including upcoming content until the servers go offline on June 3rd, 2025. Will I still be able to play the game until the sunset date? Yes. Will Season 3 still be launched? Yes. I have uninstalled my game. Can I reinstall it to play Season 3? Yes. Is there a way to continue playing offline? No. Will multiplayer services or servers remain active until the shutdown? Yes. As a Ubisoft Plus subscriber, will I have access to Season 3 and be able to play the game until sunset? Yes. And there is an option for refunds. You can just click on this little link here and you'll find out exactly what you're entitled to. And there you have it, boys. That's going to be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with more FPS content, news, updates, Call of Duty, XDefiant, make sure to subscribe. Huge shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for the continued love and support. I appreciate you guys dearly. I hope you guys enjoyed that latest members only video about the alien invasion. That's a good one. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. And as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy. Peace.